This is then a presentation of the last updates of EAnalysis. Since the previous symposium 1 year ago, I added some new features in this software. Then I will present several slides to present the project. And after, the most part of my presentation will be the demonstration of the software and especially the new features. First, EAnalysis is a part of new multimedia tools for electroacoustic music analysis. It's a software for Macintosh 10.6 or later. Beta version was available since 1 year and a half, I remember, in this website. Release will be for the end of September. After, of course, I will continue because developer software is not finished, it's never finished. And but for the release version, the system will be very stable, I hope, and very useful. What is EAnalysis? EAnalysis is a software that was developed for sound-based music analysis. And the idea is to go beyond the current software because some software are limited in a certain point of view. For example, in Acousmograph, you cannot import video file. And video file is very important for current electroacoustic music. For example, if you want to analyze performance or if you want to analyze video music, you need to have the video. Other idea is to explore new form of representation. In common analysis of electroacoustic, a lot of researchers use graphical representation, very common graphical representation with time and vertical axis that represent frequency. With EAnalysis, I wanted to search new form of representation and new type of data in this representation. And of course, the last point is very important. The idea is to not recreate other software, but work with other software to link them. And EAnalysis is a sort of workspace. And in this workspace, you can import data from other software, or you can export to other software to work with different software, because musicologists, when they analyze electroacoustic music, needs to work with different software. It's very important. Here is two pages of list of new features since the previous version 1 year ago. I will demonstrate you just after. The first main new feature is a new template window when you launch the software. Now you can import several tracks. Then you can work with multi-tracks work, or you can compare different works by import different works. You have now new playback features, very interesting to navigate inside the same work or inside a different work. New add event interface, also new analytic event, etc. Markers, for example, when you create markers inside EAnalysis, you can create copy paste from other software like AudioScript, if you want. If you work, for example, with bit tracking in AudioScript, AudioScript has a very good bit tracking. You can select all, copy, and paste inside EAnalysis to have all your markers. There are also new type of views. I added different type of views. Second page. I added also advanced tools to change a lot of events and to change, for example, the color of a lot of events in the same time. You can also exchange library, then you can exchange your graphic elements. And you can drag and drop from library to, from an element to another element to exchange inside the same representation. You have also new property for playhead. I added also a logarithmic sonogram, an information window. Now in this version you have a lot of different possibilities to import data and to export to other software. And I also added open-source control integration. It's very interesting because you can control the playback of EAnalysis with another software or with any other devices like iPhone or mobile tablet. It's very easy. You can also create, with OSC, create new events, new marker, and each event inside EAnalysis can contain an OSC message and can send an OSC message to control other software if you want. Then it works in the both, send and receive. Here is list of new features in EAnalysis. Now demonstration of some of them. When you launch EAnalysis, you have now this window with different templates. Of course, after you can change all you want. It's just template. You have a default template. A playback template is very useful because you have a synoptic view and a zoom view to navigate inside your project. Multi-track template, and you can select how many tracks you want to import. Video to work, for example, in video music. Multi-sonograms. Multi-sonograms is the possibility to superpose different sonograms. For example, if you want to analyze the difference between the left and the right in the same piece, you can superpose the both channel of the piece. You can also superpose different channels from different pieces if you want, different pieces, if you want to analyze, to compare them. Peak frequency is is for ethnomusicologists if you want to work on pitch. White text is a template if you prefer to analyze by enter text. For example, you're listening and you enter text with your ideas. It's possible with this template. Drawing, it's the same thing, but you draw with your mouse or with a graphic tablet or interactive whiteboard, for example, if you want to work with children when you work listening. Graphic representation is a very common template for create very common graphic representation. Chart, it's a little like the software by Michael and Frederic to create representation from extract of music or of different musics. Input data is if you want to import data from other software. For example, if you create or if you analyze a music with a sonic visualizer, you can create audio descriptors, and then you export as text file, and you can import inside EAnalysis to compare to your representation. And slideshow is to create a slideshow on a music. I will demonstrate this after. Then this is different templates for EAnalysis. When you create a very common default template, you have this interface. It's a very simple interface. You have two views here, a view on the bottom with a waveform, and a view with the sonogram. You can change the disposition, of course. You can listen the beginning. You can change the zoom if you want. etc. Of course, you can change the rate, the volume. I demonstrated this in the previous symposium. These two views are the same view, but in the top view, I put a sonogram, and in the bottom, I put a waveform. I can put waveform in the both, if I want. As you can see, the views are synchronized. Then when you move one, the other move. But you can desynchronize the different views if you want. And you can also desynchronize in playback. This is a new feature. For example, if you want to compare a sound, this sound at 2:30, around 2:30, and another sound at the end of this piece, around 5 minutes. And then you can switch between different positions. Of course, it's only 2 views, but you can put other views. And if you import different music, you can compare different position, different time position inside different music. It's possible. It's very easy to do this. Okay, I just delete one view. Now you have the possibility to draw events. Draw events is with the button of the toolbar. You have 2 types of events. Graphic events. Graphic events is very simple graphics. You just drag and drop, and you can change the color if you want. Draw gradient without border. Change the size, the opacity, etc. It's a graphic event. You can also add analytic event. Analytic events are performative event. Performative graphic event with analytic properties. Then you have different categories here. For example, I can use sound object by Pierre Schaeffer and balanced sound, and use, for example, this impulse. This is a very common graphic event, but you have also in this graphic event analytic properties in the panel of properties here, and analytic properties are key value pair of list of your properties. You can add different type of properties. You have this button to add, to edit. There are different types of properties: typomorphology, sound event, language read, spectromorphology, image de son by François Bell, etc. You can also create your own properties if you want. For example, for this piece, I can create a new parameter here, and we want to analyze, for example, the position in the panoramic, and I add also different values, etc. Sorry. I can change the color to have a beautiful blue color, for example, here. And now I add this to my event, and then I have a new analytic properties. And when you share your event with other users, you share also your analytic properties, of course. Okay, this is the analytic properties. But maybe you want to ask what are we use these analytic properties? But for the moment, it's only a list inside the event. But what can we do with this? I created another project. This is another piece by François Bell, Oiseau Moqueur. Maybe you know this piece. I realized 12 years ago this representation with acousmograph. Maybe we can hear just an extract from this part. Etc. In this representation, I added also in each element an analytic property. It's just a very simple classification of the different sounds of this piece. And then with this, I can connect analytic properties to graphic properties to change the point of view of my representation. For example, I create a new view, a very simple white view. Both are the same. Maybe I can change the zoom to have all representation. And in the view at the top, I want to represent the category in the vertical position of event. For example, then I use the property of views, an advanced property, and I have a new part. I presented this in previous symposium, but it didn't work very good. Now it works. It's rules. Rules are sort of still sheet. For example, if you develop a HTML5 still sheet, and with these rules, you can connect directly properties of event to graphic properties. You can also connect graphic properties to graphic properties if you want. Then I add several rules to change my representation to black box. I can add another rules to change, for example, the size. I put it to 10 pixels of 8. And then I can add another rules to connect my category from analytic properties. If you add analytic properties inside an event, these analytic properties is listed in this list. It's automatic. Then I select category, and I connect category to vertical position. And then in several clicks, I have another representation with another point of view. And it's very interesting to view this for the analysis, because you can view the repartition of the different categories inside this piece. This is one way to create different types of representation in several clicks. You have not to restart your representation like in other software as acousmograph. You just change this. I add type view here. I can add also other type of view. For example, I can add a data view. Okay, a data view, and with the Sonic Visualizer, I realize some analyze of this piece. Then I import data, audio descriptor, centroid spectral. It's the average, sort of average of spectrum. Okay, and then I can display this. Of course, I can display several data in harmonicity, something. Okay. Then I can superpose. I can add different type of view. It's very interesting. This piece is very interesting because François Bell realized this piece, and after a movie maker realized a movie, Robert Laboujade, and then if you import the movie, and I import another track with the movie. Takes several seconds to compute the sonogram and the waveform. And then I can put the video inside my representation. Okay. I add a new view, a video view. Here is my video view. I change to play the video. And now I can play this part with a different view, a different representation I realized, and with the film by Robert Lapougeat. Then I think it's very interesting to have different type of views to compare different representation that you realized or different representation that other person realized or for the movie. For the movie, you can also navigate by thumbnail of the movie to go in a specific position. And it works, of course, with long movie. I analyzed Elephant by Gus Van Sant. It's 80 minutes film, and it works perfectly with the movie. This is example of different views and the use of events. No other type of views extract from another piece. It's Noah Noah by KSIO. It's a piece for flute and electronic. And in this representation, I create 3 views. The first in the bottom is a very common time view with a sonogram. On the top, you have an image view. In this image view, you can put any image you want. Here, I put a part of the score. And between the 2 views, you have a chart view. In this chart view, you can select part of the piece here in the time view, and you can put this part on your chart view. And then you can add different extracts and organize these different extracts as you want. Of course, when you double-click on an extract, you can play this extract, or this. And you can also play all the piece and see playhead in each box. Etc. You can connect each box if you want. You can change the property of the connection. You can change the color if you want to have a red line with arrows, for example. It's possible. You can also display the different box in with different image. For example, you can display the waveform or the color. Or if you select in the time view an event, a graphic event, the software displays the graphic event. For example, if you draw an ellipse red, the chart view can display the ellipse red. You can zoom also inside and to view at different size the different elements. And then you can add also different charts. For example, I realized the beginning. Maybe I can put a sonogram, yes. And it's a sort of paradigmatic analysis of the beginning of this music. etc. You can change also the graphic representation of sonogram inside each box. You can crop, decide to change on the low frequency and the high frequency to view a specific range of frequencies in each box. It's possible. This is one of the use of the chart view, but you also can use this chart view as for another type of analysis. For example, I recorded last week sun walk in Paris street. And this is my sun walk. You can put a map, image on the background of your chart. Here I put an image of a map. And you have the different extract here. You can change the view of the extract. You can decide to have a rectangle or ellipse if you want the color of the waveform, etc. And then you have a representation of my sun walk inside this street. For example, we can listen some extract. And during my sun walk, I also take photos with my mobile. And of course, the photos have time of creation. And my sound file has also a date of creation. And then, if I import this image, the both can be synchronized. Then I create an image view here, and I select the image I took inside during the sun walk. I select to synchronize the different images to the current media file that is playing, and then the software creates association between the sun walk, between the media file and the different image. Here is the different image, the list of pictures, and each pictures can be also displayed inside the time view, and you can change, if you want, of course, you can change the position of each image, and then we can listen another time with image. Or the extract. And it's another example to use this chart view and the image view to create another analysis of this sun walk. Now several other very short examples. When you analyze an electroacoustic music, maybe you can have the Pro Tools version of the music, or maybe you want to analyze your own music and you created your music with Pro Tools. And with the Pro Tools 9, you can export in all versions of Pro Tools. Before it's only in HD version, but you can export in text file your session. This is a text file. Sorry. Yes. Just open the project. And and this is a text file that Pro Tools exports. You have the different tracks, you have each clip and the time. And then with EAnalysis, you can import the Pro Tools information session. And then you have a representation of your session. Each clip is now an event, a graphic event. There are some problems with guides, and I have to change this, of course. But it's very interesting because now you can change this with your own graphic event. For example, if you want to exchange, you created some beautiful graphic events, and you want to change this graphic event, you can drag with Alt key to replace the different event with your own graphic event, or you can use Command key to replace only the form and to have the main graphic properties of the source. For example, here I have the color of the source and the form of this graphic event. And then it's very easy to create your representation between your Pro Tools information session. You have all time cues, all duration. It's a great tool to create representation. Another new feature, it's the possibility from the last version of Acousmograph to import your Acousmograph file. For example, here is a beautiful analysis by Mike of drip study. And since the last version of Acousmograph, you can export in XML your file, for example, and export this. Okay. You create EAnalysis project with the same audio file. I prepared this here. And then now you have to import. You select Acousmograph file. You can select which layer you want to import. For example, I only want to import symbols, not markers. Then the system import all the different symbols and transform these symbols to event. I have just to change the zoom, the vertical zoom, and this is the same representation. You have exactly the same representation, and of course now all your symbol inside Acousmograph is an event, and then you can change it. You can change the color, etc. You have several differences between your representation in Acousmograph and in EAnalysis because Acousmograph use very particular properties of graphics, and I don't adapt this. And then, but the most common representation are very well imported. You have also other import and export possibilities. You can import markers. If you have a list of time cue, you can import your list of time cue, and it's become a marker. You can export to image your representation. You can export your analysis to video if you want, to QuickTime movie. You also can export your project as another project, but without the media and without the sonogram. If you want, for example, share your analysis without problem of copyright. And you have also the possibility to export the different elements of your analysis, the events and the markers, to text file, to CSV, XML, and to JSON. JSON is a new file format which is used now with Macs, for example. And if you want to create, analyze formats, it's possible. You select which parameter you want to export in the different event, and the system create for you text. This is a different possibility inside EAnalysis. Okay, now just to conclude, two elements. First, the release version will be available in September, at the end of September. I need to add new other graphic and analytic events, other analytic parameters, for example, to analyze a movie or to analyze a space. I need to update for versioning of 10.7 and 10.9 compatibility. I need to finalize the manual and to correct the manual. I will also add video tutorials on YouTube to learn how to use this software, because as you can see, as you can show, there are a lot of features and a lot of possibilities. I also put on my website different examples that you can use it and you can change it, transform it, etc. And now perspectives after September. The software will not stop at the end of September, of course. I will continue the development. I have two ways to continue the development of the software. First, to create import and export to other software. For example, to EAnalysis Studio. EAnalysis Studio is one of my other software that I created to work on writing music. If you want to analyze writing music and annotate the score, you have to use this software. I think we will add exchange between the software by Michael and Frederic, and maybe other software like Mubu. Mubu is a sort of framework, new framework from Max by Irkan to create representation timeline with various representation. I will create also patch for Max, Pure Data, and Open Music to demonstrate how to use EAnalysis to create automatic representation or to create automatic analysis of audio descriptor, tracking of morphology, etc. in Max or in Open Music, and to import the result inside EAnalysis. Okay, thank you. If you have any questions.
Question, yeah, or comments. What would you like to see added? Maybe anything. We've got lots of time to talk about that. Questions first.
What language is it written in? Is it written in Max, or is it written in C? Or
Objective-C.
Objective-C.
Yes, not in Max. No.
Yeah.
Max is very difficult. Frederic is a good developer of Max, and it's very difficult to develop multimedia and special to develop graphic environment. Yeah. In Objective-C, it's more powerful. It's more useful to develop this.
I have a question that the new feature you're gonna add in, you can analysis of space. So what type of parameters that you're thinking about?
It's just a combination of different parameters to parameters of position, panoramic position, different plan or elevation, and I will create a graphic element to represent position.
3D kind of?
Sorry?
It's 3D representation or it's 2D? It's a 3D.
Three-dimensional.
Oh, sorry, no, no. I presented here in 2007 in EMS the program of 3D representation in analysis. I tried to use it, but it's a real problem, because when you use 3D, of course it's beautiful, it's incredible, but for analyze, it's not good because you miss the precision, and it's very difficult to see what is an element and what are the distance between different elements in 3D. And then it's because I prefer to have different view to represent each element. It's more precise and more for analyze. I think it's better than 3D or more immersion, of course.
Any other questions?
And does EAnalysis does it create audio? Does it analyze audio descriptors or
No.
just import the data?
Just import.
Okay.
Yes, but it's very easy with Sonic Visualizer. You create audio descriptor. The objectives of this software is not to recreate that other software can do very good. And audio descriptor is very complex to analyze, but you can use other software, or Sonic Visualizer, or Max, etc. There are different possibilities.
I have another question about the film analysis. What type? What's the focus of the feature that you're gonna add? A movie, like a whole movie, how? Not audiovisual work, but cinema work.
You can create a representation. For example, I can show you this representation.
Yeah, we're interested in this elephant.
Yes.
If you, yeah.
Yes. It's representation, of course. Here you have it's an analysis that I made for a specific symposium, and I represent with different view. In this view, you have the different characters, different actors, and in this view, you have the structure of the movie, and the two view on the bottom is music and the sound, the analysis of sound. It's very interesting because you can view where is each characters, and you can see then the yellow character here is never present with music. It's the only character that is never present with music. All other characters can be present with music one time, not this character.
So it's more into the character representation of.
Yeah,
But
you
it's
can
not
represent what
just-
you want,
yeah,
of course.
yeah.
If you want, you can represent the motion of the camera or the different type of plan as you want, or emotion, or.
Okay, thank you very much, Pierre.
Thank you.